everyone in the room, and we are now officially ready to start our program. It is my pleasure to welcome the distinguished guests onto the dais. As a note of introduction, my name is Kiran Jain, and I'm the COO for Noida International Airport. But far beyond that, I'm one of the founding members of this amazing group of women in aviation for the India chapter. It is my pleasure to welcome each and every one of you today to be a part of this wonderful event where we are actually celebrating what women have done around the country when it comes to their contributions in aviation. It is the biggest pleasure actually is that today, after almost 2.5 years, having crossed the entire COVID trauma that we've all suffered, this is the first time that we're all together in a room and we're actually able to host such an event. So for that, I believe we should all give each other a round of applause, and a round of applause for everyone on the stage. I do know that all the dignitaries on the stage require absolutely no introduction, but as it is my role as the Master of Ceremony to make sure that I do introduce everyone on the stage, it is my pleasure to bring to you the Minister of Civil Aviation, Shri Aditya Raj Scindia, the Secretary of MOCA, Mr. Bansal. We also have Radha Bhatia on the stage, who's the chairperson of the bird group. We have Joint Secretary, Ms. Usha Padi, Ministry of Civil Aviation. And we also have with us Ashmita Sethi, who is the co-chairman of FICCI for the Aviation Committee, and also the MD for Pratt & Whitney in India. And with that, we will start the ceremony of the Saraswati Vandana, which is brought to you by young children who will be performing the Vandana. As you all know, it's a good idea to evoke the goddess of knowledge when we go down any path, any ceremony. So I will pass this on now to the young girls, future aviators for our country. And after that, I will ask the dignitaries on the dais to please go and light the lamp. Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. I will now ask the dignitaries to please form around the lamp, and we shall be lighting it. Again, another very auspicious way of lighting the flame so that we can move on and have an auspicious start to this event. Thank you. And with the lighting of the lamp, we are now officially in business for the remainder 45 minutes to 50 minutes on the hour. Once again, thank you very much. Before I start the program, I think it's important that I put into context what Women in Aviation is all about. As I mentioned before, it is an American organization. We are a representation of the India chapter. We were formed about 10 years ago under the leadership of Ms. Radha Bhatia. A few of us who are the founding members are in the group today, and a big round of applause to you amazing women who have actually made this possible. And the fact that we're here today to celebrate is also another landmark event for all of us who've been involved in this from day one. Our intention and our mission is very simple. We want to engage all the young women in the country to understand that there is an absolutely unbelievable, incredibly adventurous, awesome, inspiring role to be found in aviation. And again, we want to move away from the story of the pilots and the flight attendants, because that is what is upfront and personal. But there is another whole arena, and you will say today, as we go through the awardees, you will realize exactly what is it that is behind this big word called aviation. So once again, welcome to every one of you. And I would now like to ask Shri Rajiv Bansal, the Secretary of Ministry of Civil Aviation, to do the honors of providing us with a welcome address. So if I may please ask you to come to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my proud privilege to be here today morning amongst all of you, and welcome our Honorable Minister for Civil Aviation, Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia ji, and my colleagues on the dais, Srimati Ashmita Sethi, Radha Bhatia ji, the doyen of the bird group, as well as a long-time acquaintance in the civil aviation sector, my colleague Usha, who's here with me, a joint secretary in my ministry, several of my colleagues from the ministry who are here with us today in the audience, so many distinguished leaders of the aviation sector, ladies and gentlemen. I stand here today with a great sense of happiness and sense of pride because of two reasons. One, because our sector, the civil aviation sector, is a great sector. It's a great sector because it's a sector which has been growing steadily, and it's been recording a double-digit growth for the last several years. For the last 10 years, for the last decade, we recorded a double-digit growth. Except for this temporary course correction or blip that we've had during the COVID, we are confident that we are now going to once again grow at 10% or more in the coming years. Our domestic aviation is back to where it was pre-COVID, and I'm sure that with the help of all of us who are committed to a brighter future of this sector, we will continue to grow. We'll continue to grow much faster than we grew earlier. This growth has been possible because of all the women leaders who have supported this growth in the past decade. And I acknowledge today the great contribution that all the women leaders have done to grow this sector at the pace at which it has grown. Our women leaders have not only led from the front, which is the cockpit in the airlines, the cabin crew, but in every aspect of the aviation sector, be it the ATCs, be it the ground handling, be it the check-in staff at the counters at the airports, be it helicopters, be it airports now, and we've seen Kiran here leading that also in the airport sector. Every sector has had outstanding women leaders, and of course today I'm happy to see a large number of women Air Force officers, Navy officers who are here with us in this journey of growth. This journey of growth has also been possible because of our young, dynamic, and energetic Honorable Minister. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. I know it is Parliament session, but you have taken time out to be here with us ahead of the beginning of the Parliament session at 11 a.m. Thank you so much for being with us and encouraging us in this journey of growth. With these few words, I solicited your cooperation, support in continuing on this path of growth as we go forward. I'm confident that we will continue to soar high, we'll continue to fly high and reach for the skies. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Bansal. We are indeed proud to be a part of the aviation fraternity. And if I may, I would be amiss if I don't mention the contribution of the women in the Ministry of Civil Aviation and DGCA, what their contribution has been to the continuation of the growth of aviation in this country. I would like to personally thank Ms. Ushapati, who is actually here today on stage, for her support, for her forward thinking, for her visionary ideas, for actually her encouragement, for pushing us forward to do what we do, not just for the women, but actually for all of us in the aviation sector. At the same time, I'd be remiss if I don't mention Ms. Rubina Ali. I did not see her here, but she's again one of the joint secretaries within MOCA who has been a huge support to all of us. And without a doubt, Shefali Juneja, who is a big part of our association. Shefali right now has been deputed to ICAO and is doing some amazing, wondrous work, carrying not only the flag of India in aviation in ICAO, but also carrying the flag for our women in aviation. So a big round of applause, please. And one of our distinguished members, Shweta from the DGCA, you're all very familiar with her. She has also been a huge contribution within the government sector for aviation. So thank you very much. With that, I would now like to invite Ms. Ashmita Sethi, who happens to be the co-chairman of FICCI, the Aviation Committee, but more than that, and almost absolutely inspiring, the president and country head for Pratt & Whitney. It is my pleasure to welcome her. I am from the state of Connecticut, so it's absolutely amazing to have Pratt & Whitney here, so thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so good morning. It's an honor to welcome all of you to this milestone celebration organized by the Ministry of Civil Aviation and FICCI and Women in Aviation. I would first like to welcome our chief guest, Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia, and our keynote speaker, Shri Rajiv Bansal, and Shrimati Usha Padi, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Civil Aviation, and Shrimati Radha Bhatia, President of Women in Aviation India Chapter, and all our distinguished awardees, guests, and spokespersons gathered here today for this important celebration on women's achievements in the India aviation, Aaj Savare and Kal Savare. I'm honored to be here to be representing FICCI and Women in Aviation. So thank you both for organizing this illustrious event and doing all the good work you have been in this sector to encourage and advance women in India in the aviation sector. Today's India chapter has over 50 members in Women in Aviation across India. And I would take this opportunity to also thank my American companies who have been supporting this cause. We have Lockheed Martin here, Bill Blair, who's come to attend this, and our, we have Mehnaz Ansari, the SVP for Women in Aviation and head of United States Trade and Development Agency, which has also been doing a lot of good work. She's the one who actually re-engaged me, since I've been a member since 2015, and we hope to do much more in this sector. I would also like to acknowledge Remy, who's here from Airbus, who's doing a lot to support that sector. He's also chairman of the FICCI Aviation Committee. So we've got great supporters. And I want to talk just a little bit about aviation as a sector. As human beings, the quest for flight and the spirit to soar the skies is an essential part of our nature. From Catherine Wright, who funded and supported the Wright brothers as they made their first powered flight, and Amelia Earhart, who became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic solo in 1932, to pioneers and champions of commercial aviation in India like Sarla Thakral and Prem Mathur, and India's first woman Air Marshal Padmavati Bandyopadhyay, women have led and continue to lead many breakthroughs we have made in the aerospace sector. And that's about, in this industry, if we look at it, 15% compared to the world average of 5% where women leaders and women are leading in the aviation sector. However, we must not rest our laurels in this case. We need more passionate women aviators to mark their presence at all levels in aviation. We need them to lead as aircraft dispatch managers, air traffic controllers, firefighters, pilots, aircraft engineers, airport managers, cabin crew, and much more. As more and more women inspire and aspire, both choosing the aviation industry to pursue their dreams, we need to keep pace with their requirements and the needs for their ambitions. So the Ministry of Civil Aviation and Women in Aviation International are taking a few multiple steps, and I would request the minister, they've been doing a lot, but to support this chapter very actively. This is truly inspiring when we see young schoolgirls also taking part, and the ones who sang the Vandana today. It was very inspiring to see them as well. That's why, as a woman leader in aerospace, for me, this is a very proud moment and honor to be with all of you here this morning. So welcome once again, and I will now hand over to Madam Radha Bhatia.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sethi. It was a pleasure to hear you speak. Without further ado, I don't think this amazing woman needs an introduction to anyone here. Not only is she inspiring in what she does, but let me tell you, she can bully anyone to do anything. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you a dear friend, a woman I admire, and there we go. Radha, it's all yours.
Really it is?
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. It is absolutely a pleasure and an honor for me to host this event together with Ministry of Civil Aviation, the Minister and Vicky. I extend my warm greetings to our Honorable young dynamic Minister who needs no introduction. Mr. Shri Rajiv Bansalji, Secretary Ministry of Civil Aviation. Usha Padiji, I think please excuse me because I've been troubling you quite a lot. I think I was so passionate to do this event that I had to pull the minister all the distance to AeroCity in spite of his busy schedule. We all have gathered here to celebrate this achievement of women in aviation. The women's role has been wonderful in aviation, and I think it is India which is promoting. Thanks for our Honorable Prime Minister who has put women in forefront, and I think this year would be the year for women, especially in aviation. It was a proud privilege to see that on the 26th of August in the parade, we saw so many women flying, so many women taking part in the parade. And it was the first time that civil aviation also had a presentation in that. Today's day indeed is to be written in golden letters, as we have amongst us the very stars of the aviation industry together on one platform, who will be honored by the nobody less than the minister, who himself, if I'm not mistaken, is a pilot. He's a pilot for the aviation industry. I always used to hear from the former secretary that whenever there were delegations from abroad, it was always the Indian delegate women were overpowering the foreign, and he used to proudly mention it. Our women in aviation have been playing a lot of important roles. A big thumbs up to all the super achiever women in the field of aviation. I remember that whenever I had a meeting, I was always talking about bringing the women into the forefront. Women as Aviation is a group of like-minded women, and I would recommend all the women in aviation who are present in the hall just to stand up and show the hard work. You need an applaud. Can you all stand up? They have been going from one city to another all over India and trying to influence the young girls and inspire them that they should come up into aviation. So many questions they have, the young girls, in their minds. We are the ones who can just answer them and promote them. Today, as I stand amidst this galaxy of eminent stalwarts of the aviation industry, please correct me if I am wrong. Our focus is we should be on rebuilding incredible India, Today, India's biggest problem is unemployment. And aviation, tourism, and our culture are the ones which are going to absorb the maximum amount of manpower. So, Minister, I would like that we work together with the Ministry of Tourism and the culture to eradicate that problem. We have a lot of these associations working, but they are working on individual needs. But if we join hands, I think we can do a marvelous job for the economy of India. I don't want to take too much of the time of the minister. We should pledge today that we all, industry, associations, the ministry, work together to solve the problem and give opportunities to all the younger generation. The Saraswati Vandana was sung by the Vidya school students who come from the economically weak sector and are supported by the industry to bring them up to a. I would like to thank Mr. Ambar Dubey for arranging the drone display on the Girls in Aviation Day. We have a slogan, Beti ki Udan, Desh ka Swabhiman. This was launched by the then Minister of Civil Aviation. Every small girl has a dream. Let us get together to make the dreams come true for them. I hope you will all join in this endeavor of creating women into the forefront. Thank you very much. Special thanks to our sponsors, airport authorities, all the airports, Dial, Mile, Bile, and now we have Noida Airport, Zabir, and not to forget my biggest sponsor, who has been Lockheed Martin. Thank you very much, Lockheed Martin. I would also like to thank the Air Force with a short notice to be present here amongst us. Once again, I thank the Minister, the Secretary, and especially Mrs. Usha Padiji to make my dream come true today. Thank you very much.
Okay, I've been given instructions to use a different mic. So let's see how we can make this happen. Thank you very much, Ms. Radha Bhatia. It's always a pleasure to hear her, and it's amazing the amount of energy she has in pulling all of us together to make sure that we deliver a program that not just satisfies her, of course, but more than anything else, it actually carries forward the flag of what is women in aviation. A big thanks to Lockheed Martin. You know very well that we would not be here where we are without your support. Of course, as I have the mic and I am standing on the stage, it is my request that we do need funds to run our program. It is run like an NGO because we do travel across the country in promoting women in aviation and promoting careers for young girls. So feel free. You can get a hold of us anytime and feel free to become a member. At the moment, I would like to call out Airport Authority of India. Without your support, we would not be doing what we do across the country. A huge round of applause also, again, for support that we've gotten from the GMR airports, support we've gotten from BIAL, and support that we constantly keep receiving from the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Thank you for that. With that, Um, I think we should get into the ceremony of the awards. How this will happen, I just want to give you a quick update. There was a jury which selected a few women, actually quite a large amount. But because of the paucity of time, we're not going to go through their incredible contributions. We're going to try and keep it to a minimal. In no way is that an indication of us dismissing what they have contributed. It is just a way for us to move the program along. So I do appreciate your support. As your names are announced, please do come up to the stage, and the honors of presenting you with an award will be facilitated by the Minister. So we can get started on that. My first call out will be for Ms. Nirja Sodhi. Not only is she an amazing friend, but she's an amazing woman. I've seen her work in T3. Nirja is now retired, 33 years with Air India, has done immense work in public relations, airline operations, and airport management. Nirja? Yeah. Captain Kunjal Bhatt. Okay, Captain Kunjal Bhatt is the head of training at the IGRUA, Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Ukran Academy, and she's the chief piloting instructor of the institute. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Go in the front. Ms. Sheetal Mahajan Rane is a professional woman skydiver and a Padam Shri awardee 2011. Please go. Dr. Sarita Alawat. Dr. Alawat is the co-founder of the Bot Lab Dynamics Private Limited. It's a robotic startup which specializes in building drone swarm technology and is incubated at the IIT in Delhi. Next, we have Captain Nivedita Bhasin, a big proponent of women in aviation, a lady that needs no introduction, probably one of India's pioneer women pilots. She has been with Air India and has recently retired after 37 years. Ms. Neelu Khatri is the co-founder and the senior vice president at Akasa Air. Akasa is the new airline that will be commencing operations in the summer of 2022. Neelu is also a member of the Women in Aviation. Captain Anushri Varma, please. And Lieutenant Shivangi Singh, please. Captain Anushri Varma is the Chief of Flight Safety and is a safety manager at SpiceJet. She has literally grown up in the SpiceJet organization. Ms. Shivangi Singh, Flight Lieutenant. She flies the basic fighter jet Hawk Mk-132 and is posted to the fighter squadron in February of 2019 and flies the MiG-21 Bison. I don't think Tulsi is here. I did not see her. Okay. So Ritika Modi? Okay. Wonderful. So Ritika is being represented here. You all know Ritika from Uniglobe Travel? Oh, okay, sorry. That is Tulsi from DART. Is Ritika Modi here? Okay, you are. Okay, all right. My mistake, I apologize. I'm being given different information from the side. Okay, I would like to have Mrs. Sophia. This is amazing. Sophia Anil actually is a heavy equipment operator. She holds the license to be driving the DBT, EBT, and ramp vehicles on the airport airside. Mrs. Bini T.I. is General Manager of Civil Engineering at Cochin International Airport. She constituted a team of lady engineers and they completed the runway recarpeting in 2020 for Kochi. Captain Mayuri Deshmukh, please. Followed by Captain Ashmita Mandiratha. Captain Deshmukh is with the Pavan Hans Limited and has created history by becoming the country's first female offshore captain. Captain Ashima Mandiratha, please. Captain Mandiratha is a passionate and dedicated helicopter pilot for Pavan Hans. Captain Neha Malhotra. Captain Neha Malhotra is one of the first few approved DGCA drone instructors. I pass this now on to Nivedita.
Thanks, Kiran. As we continue with the next set of awardees, one of the main reasons why we are felicitating these ladies here today is that you can't be what you can't see. So it's very important to see these role models to inspire the next generation of women. The next in line is Ms. Kanika Tekriwal. She's the CEO and co-founder of Jet Set Go and currently manages and operates India's largest private jet and helicopter fleet. Congratulations. Lieutenant Commander Pushpa Pandey. Lieutenant Commander Pushpa Pandey is with PIAL, Bangalore International Airport Limited. She's got experience in air traffic control, airspace redesignation, airside operations, aircraft safety, and emergency response planning. Congratulations. Ms. Kiranjeet Jain. Kiran, you are next. A very dear friend, a fantastic worker. She's an aviation management professional with over 25 years of experience. Nobody needs to be told that. She's the CEO of the new airport coming up at Noida. Ms. Satyavati. Okay. Ms. Satyavati was the only one and only female Director General, DGCA, Ministry of Civil Aviation. Shweta is taking her award. Ms. Parul Kurukshetra, please. Ms. Parul Kurukshetra is the head of GMR Aviation Academy. She's currently the chief of GMR Aviation Academy and also currently the chairman of Air Cargo Forum India, Hyderabad chapter. Congratulations. Lieutenant Commander Swati Bhandari. Lieutenant Commander Swati Bhandari is commissioned Navy officer. She's fully qualified on the P-8I long-range maritime reconnaissance aircraft, and she holds the highest Category A qualification and is also the youngest woman in India to be awarded Vision Controller. Zoya Agarwal, Captain, is a commander with Air India and was the youngest woman to fly Boeing 777 in 2013. She was a captain of the all-women crew flight, which flew over the pole, and has given many TEDx and TED talks. She's also a spokesperson for the UN Women. Congratulations. Captain Vandita Varma. Captain Vandita Varma is a line training captain, flight operations, Indigo Airlines. She took the lead to be proactive and resourceful during the second wave of COVID and developed a website that provided extended support. Ms. Yasmin Ali, lead cabin attendant, in-flight services, Indigo Airlines. She's being felicitated for her courage, presence of mind, and compassion she displayed during a road accident. Congratulations, Yasmin. Lucky Verma Bhaskar. She's the head of airside operations Dial. Her key achievements include the first ISO certification of IGI Airport, and she was also the core task force member during the IC 814 hijack. Bibiana Odredas. She's the head of terminal operations, RGI International Airport. She's a seasoned professional in the field of quality management, customer services, and operations. Charulata Pashupati, please be here. Charulata is currently working as GM and a technical specialist in airport development strategy and design management. Congratulations. Gayatri Venkatraman. Yes, Gayatri Venkatraman. She's Venkateshwaran. Yes. Gayatri Venkateshwaran, she's a Joint General Manager Finance, Airport Authority of India. And she's been instrumental in devising strategies and solutions related to her department. Geeta Gauba, Deputy GM Land Management. I think somebody will receive her award.
I'll take it on behalf.
Okay, yes, please, thank you. Jyoti Dhingra. Thank you. Jyoti Dhingra is the Senior Manager Customer Engagement Vistara, and she's been with Vistara since 2015, since its inception. So that brings us to the last and the end of all the awardees. Congratulations. Yes, and congratulations everybody. I would request all the winners to please come to the stage and join us here. So congratulations each and every one of you. Come. I think the shorter ladies can be here in the front. I think this is fine.
Congratulations to all.
Thank you very much. I think a bigger round of applause is required here. Quickly, ladies, let's show how agile we are and run back to our seats so we can keep the program going. Can we please ask everyone to take their seats back, please? And very quickly, there is another very interesting event that we have planned. It's a small event. It is basically the release of a book. I love the title of this book. Okay, fantastic. So thank you so very much for facilitating the wonderful ladies that came up on stage. As I was about to say that we have this amazing book, I just love the title of it, and I think all of you are going to love it. It's called From Saris to Stripes. We have the author with us here today, and we would like to have the book launched today by the Honorable Minister. This basically are the true stories of commercial women pilots of India, which have been compiled together. By Miss Manisha Puri. So we have a 3-day weekend coming up, everyone. So this is what you should be doing. You should be buying this book and you should be reading it over the weekend. We'll have a quiz next week. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Manisha Puri, launch of her book. Thank you very much. If we can all get settled, it is my pleasure to now ask the chief guest of our Women in Aviation event this morning, Shri Jyotiraditya M. Scindia, who's the Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation for the Government of India, to please come on stage and share his insights and his vision as we move forward. Thank you so much.
Seated on the dais with me, Secretary of our department, Rajiv Bansalji, seated on the dais with me, Radha Bhatia ji, a doyen and a pioneer in the area of aviation, Ashmita Sethi ji, Joint Secretary in my ministry, Usha Padi ji, Kiranji Jain ji, and the numerous ladies that have actually taken this sector and India to immeasurable heights. Ladies and gentlemen, what a landmark day today. India in the last 70 years of aviation, 75 years of our independence, as we celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we also celebrate the achievement of our women in the area of aviation. I think Radhaji said it very aptly that betiyon ka udan, desh ka swabhiman. And I think that encapsulates the story not only for all of you present in this august house, but that encapsulates the story of India. A country with 1.3 billion people. A country that is undergoing a democratic dividend as the world's largest democracy. A country that's going through a demographic dividend with 70% of our population below the age of 35. 900 million people. Almost 3 times the population of the US, almost 1.5 to 2 times the population of combined Europe. That is the potential that India represents to the world. However, that is latent potential. That latent potential has to be ignited. It has to be converted into mechanical potential or kinetic potential. And that certainly is not going to happen with only 50% of the population. And therefore, it is the need of the hour. It is the need of the hour not only for the women in our country, not only for the girls in our country. It is the need of the hour for India, a clarion call to bring our women to the forefront of progress and development so that we can achieve our dream of becoming an international superpower in the world. And therefore, today is a landmark day. What I have seen in the last half an hour, 45 minutes, the achievements, and as Ashmita ji said in her address as well, that this is not defined and confined only to the area of airports and airplanes. But there is much more to that ecosystem. And the ladies that we have recognized today, awarded today, are only a drop in the ocean in terms of the contribution of our ladies in terms of the mainstream of civil aviation. And India has had a long history of civil aviation, ladies and gentlemen. While I was going through the privatization of Air India. And we have the former CMD of Air India with us in the dais as well, now in his capacity as Secretary Civil Aviation. But Air India started way before India's independence. That was the pioneering capability of our people, the entrepreneurism. Routes that crisscrossed not only the length and breadth and east and west of India, but international routes. And so the story of India's aviation is a very, very long and cherished story in India. For me, 1932 is a red letter day, when Urmila Parikh ji was the first lady to get a pilot's license. Almost 90 years ago. That was followed up in 1936 when Sarla Thakral flew a gypsy moth solo at the young age of 21 years old. So the ladies that we have seen on the dais today have been following a long, illustrious history of civil aviation by ladies in India, by women in India. And as I said before, that this has not been confined only to pilots and ladies and women at airports. We flew our all-women crew, the first in the world, mind you, not the first in India, in 1985. And apart from scaling the skies, at the grassroots level, we had our first maintenance engineer, Bhuvanshri Gautam, in 1987. And there are many anecdotes like this in the book that has been released by Captain Manisha Puriji. It is a book that every avid aviator must go through. And the title is very apt, From Saris to Stripes. And it talks about the ascendancy of women in civil aviation. And therefore it doesn't surprise me that in our country, with such a rich history of women in the area of civil aviation, 15% of our pilots today are women. And that by itself is not a surprising statistic. If we look at India in isolation, but if you look at the globe, where the average is only 5%, we are 3 times the number of the global average at 15%. But that begs the question. When we have amongst us as well lady pilots like Zoya Agarwal, who flew Bangalore to San Francisco, the longest flight. So endurance, capability, and therefore that begs the question, that is 15% good enough? And my answer to that is a flat no. And the reason is that the odds that you have overcome, the stereotypes that you have surpassed, the pressure of performance that you have endured has been extremely daunting. You have pierced every glass ceiling. But today, we need to shift the rubric and the paradigm. And I firmly believe that there must come a day in India where this 15% must reach a minimum of 50% of our pilot strength in our country. So how do we tackle that? There are fundamental fissures that we need to confront. We need to tackle. The gateways need to be obliterated. The walls need to be broken down. And let's start with the area of education. Whether it is PhDs, MPhils. And let's start at the very bottom. Pedagogy, curriculum, early years, access to STEM education. Those walls need to be brought down. And along with that, I firmly believe that today we have a fifth of our students who are attending flying training schools. I've spoken about this at length many a time, and the fact, as our secretary said, is that our aviation sector is going to be not a growing, but I would use the word galloping sector. And I have said this many a time that I believe in the next decade or two, the backbone of infrastructure in India is going to move very strongly towards civil aviation. We transport roughly about 144 million people today. We have a CAGR of almost 10.6%. Almost double that of railways in terms of growth potential. And therefore, we need to train our pilots. We have now come out with a new FTO policy. We're looking at setting up 9 new FTOs in 5 new cities. Most of our pilots go abroad for training. There is an outgo of foreign exchange. Our capability to create an ecosystem within India. That period has passed us where we look at only airports and airline operators. We need to create that civil aviation ecosystem in India. And I've been in dialogue with many of our industry proponents. All those legs need to be firmly placed in India. Whether it is MROs, whether it is FTOs, whether it is cargo, whether it is ground handling. And I firmly believe that with the proliferation of flying training organizations in India, that will unleash another avenue for our ladies and our women to participate in a much greater context in the area of civil aviation. While I'm at that, I must say that even at my ministry, I have the privilege to be working with 2 amazing ladies. My 2 joint secretaries, Usha Padiji and Rubina Aliji. And on their shoulders rest the airports of India, rest the airlines of India, rest the ministries and the government's most important effort in Udan, Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik. And I would like to, through this podium, give a personal thanks to both my wonderful ladies that are doing a tremendous job in the area of civil aviation. We also need to make a shift in the way we look at our workplace. I believe that our airlines are doing a tremendous job in terms of creating a healthy workplace environment for our women. Whether it is creches, maternity leaves, all of those structures. But I think we need to move beyond that. We need to create an environment which is not only gender neutral, but which looks at an equal responsibility on men as well as women in terms of the family environment. And therefore, case in point, why do we look at the concept of only maternity leave? We must also look at the concept of paternity leave, where men must also partake in the responsibility of bringing up children at home. And therefore, that mental shift has to happen. We must recognize differences and reimagine the fundamentals of ethics in the workplace. And therefore, I believe that in life, equity is more important than equality. It's a very nuanced approach. But I think the time has come to be able to recognize that. It is not a fight for equality, but it is a fight for equity. And that's the environment that we need to create. I believe that we in government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, our fight for equity, our fight for equality is the clear underpinning of ensuring that every young man and woman in our country participates in ensuring the progress of our great nation. So on this day, I'd like to congratulate and salute our women in civil aviation, and may you fly high and emblazon the trail for many men to follow in your wake. Thank you very much.
Hello. Sorry, I'm always famous of breaking the rules. आज मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है जो एक चिंगारी शुरू हुई है वो धीरे धीरे आग की तरह भड़केगी और हम लोगों का जो ड्रीम जो हम लेके हैं वो शुरू होगा आज के बाद. Thank you very much, Minister. And I have been working 7 years to bring up Women in Aviation International India chapter, and I dedicate it today to the Ministry of Civil Aviation.
Perfect start, and with that I bring to you the very inspiring Miss Usha Padhi, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Civil Aviation, who will be giving her vote of thanks. Thank you so much.
Namaskar to all. Giving vote of thanks is a very delicate responsibility. Maybe organizers must be thinking that without that formal vote of thanks, we will not be closing. But at the same time, I can understand that people would be eager to leave. So I will try to have that balance. We women are supposed to be having a better balance. So I hope that I'll be doing the job. First of all, let me also break the stereotype vote of thanks. So I will not go with the dais, but off the dais. I'll first of all thank everyone, all those awardees who have come here, who are here and who are not here, but still we convey our sincere gratitude to all of you. You are here not because you are women, but because of your competence, because of your indomitable skill, fighting the way against the adversaries. So adversities. So I thank each one of you, and I hope you will carry the same message and keep on inspiring the people who are in the field. I also thank this opportunity for all those women who have been part of aviation and contributing continuously at every stage. We were told when I entered the aviation sector that to fly one flight on the top, there must be 100 of people who are working on the ground. So I am sure that half of the world is us. So please make sure that they will get the message and they will continue to be getting it motivated. I also thank all the participants, men and women who are here, men for supporting women. Some of them are also participating through virtual link. So I thank one and all for being here and celebrating women along with us. And now I come to the dais, Honorable Minister, for being here, not only for giving the stage, time during this parliament session, but making sure that all of us get equal opportunity uh, and he pushes the ground. So I thank you, sir, from bottom of my heart. And you literally gave the center stage to the women, sir. I thank our team leader, Honorable Secretary, sir. He is very polite, but very subtly nudges everyone to make sure that all of us do the good work in aviation. And that's the reason maybe everybody is praising civil aviation. Ma'am, it's a teamwork. All of us are together, and we make the things together under the leadership of our Honorable Minister and Secretary. I also thank Ma'am Bhatia. So I need not say too many words. I think we can have a big applause for her. You are not troubling us, ma'am. Rather, we have been inspired by you, and you have been inspiring the generation of women and girls. It's quite motivating for all of us. Every time we speak to you, we think that we are doing little less and we should do more. So now I'll come to Asmita and Fiki. Fiki being our partner, I mean all-weather friend. In every event, sometimes they do charity, sometimes we try to sponsor, but whatever it is, but they have been always there. And we are taking this partnership to till Wings. I mean, like we have on March 24th at Hyderabad, and I would like to see most of you. And thank you, Fiki, for being there always. I also thank all the organization. Fiki, Mr. Jha, he's here. He has been with us at the entire Lifeline Udan, if we have done. I think around 30% of the flight contributed from them for the Lake, J&K and all those states. Thank you for helping us always, and we are really, really proud of the force. We had went at the last moment to all the organization from the airline, airport, all the stakeholders in the value chain for sending the names and nominating. They were so sincere that we have received within a few hours the names have come, and the only thing which we couldn't fulfill was that they wanted more people to be awarded, but we had very little time. So maybe we'll certainly have this initiative continued, and maybe we'll be able to send the certificate if you think that more people are deserving, and we think that they are deserving. Thank you. And before closing, I would like to thank each one of you, the volunteers, the usherers, everyone who have been running around and making this event very successful. Thank you, one and all. Before closing, sir, I may use this opportunity to share some message. Recently, we had International Women's Day Celebration 22. The message was break the bias. So as Honorable Minister said that it's not about equality but equity. So it's not break the bias, but please continue to have the positive bias, affirmative bias. And if whatever may be the opinion, whatever may be the people say, we keep on hearing. And this message is for women. Please, men should not take it otherwise. There are many opinions. Please don't bother. If you lead the way from the front, they say you are bossy. But plus anyway, try to be bossy. If you do something like little assertive, they say you are very aggressive. Please be aggressive. If you ask some hard questions, they will say you are very difficult. But continue to ask hard questions. And if you say that, you are telling the truth, they say you are very difficult. Please be difficult. So carry this message, continue to inspire, and it's a great event for all of us. Thank each one of you for making it very, very successful. Thank you, one. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much. With that, we end the official program for today. Some housekeeping rules, if I may please announce them. All the awardees, you're expected to give a bite. We have a media team outside under Rohit's leadership. I don't know where he is, but he could wave right there at the back if all of you see. You're expected to give a bite. We want to gather as many bites as possible, simply because this is what we use then to compile and inspire the next wave of trips we need to make across the country to inspire young girls to join aviation as a career choice. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. Again, it is my pleasure to have been able to lead this for you. And I now wish you an amazing day. Go out and spread joy and do what we're supposed to do. So fly high. Thank you very much.